Mother went to Charleston with Ursula, at last, to go to the Spoleto Festival in the afternoon while Urs was consulting at Mercy Hospital, and then go out to dinner and back to the festival in the evening. She came back glowing. The following week, Max said, "It's your turn, Paul. Urs has to go back to Charleston to see Ormsby. There are times I could kill your Uncle Denny's for offering Urs to him, but Urs needs the stimulation, so I'm simultaneously grateful. There's an interesting play on at the Dock Street Theater in the evening." "When?" "Tomorrow. We've already cleared it with your parents. Urs will be getting her hair trimmed, so we'll kill two birds with one stone and get yours styled." "You're not coming?" Of course she wasn't coming. She wasn't up to it, and I knew it. "Not this time. You go with Urs and have fun." Ursula and I stayed in the Ormsby's guest house, which was a separate building behind the house and had been the kitchen in the old days. There was a comfortable sitting room overlooking the garden, and bedrooms with twin beds, a bathroom, and a tiny kitchenette, so the guests could be self-sufficient. The furniture was antique and beautiful. Mrs. Ormsby was an interior decorator, and there was air conditioning. We said hello to Mrs. Ormsby, who was welcoming and chatty, and asked about Daddy and then Uncle Denny's, and talked about getting Mother into Charleston more often. And wouldn't Ursula be interested in serving on some committees? "And how is Maximiliana doing?" she asked, a tentative note coming into her voice. "As well as can be expected." Ursula's tone was carefully noncommittal. "I wish we could help, my dear," Mrs. Ormsby said. Suddenly, and for the first time, I realized that Ursula was bearing Max's death on her own shoulders, bearing it for Max as well as for herself, and I had a faint glimmer of what that death was going to mean to Ursula. Max had said that they had been together for over 30 years. That was longer than Mother and Daddy had been married. How would either of my parents feel if they were watching the other die? I couldn't quite conceive it. Now, as I watched and heard Ursula being courteous and contained, some of her pain became real to me. Mrs. Ormsby, returning to her social, light voice, told us that there was iced tea in the fridge and a bottle of white wine. We thanked her, and then went to the hairdresser's. Chic and undoubtedly exorbitantly expensive. I felt a little odd having my hair styled. Kate's chestnut hair is curly, and even when she nibbles at it with the nail scissors, it looks just right. If I hack at mine with the nail scissors, it looks exactly as though I've hacked at it with the nail scissors. Mother usually cuts it. "Cut it short, please," I said to the stylist, "as short as possible." "Why so short?" he asked. "It's an awful color, and the shorter it is, the less of it. If I could make up a dye the color of your hair, half my ladies would come flocking. You have a beautiful neck. We will show off your neck to the best advantage." Kate's reaction when I came home was, "Golly, Polly!" Zan said, "Gosh, Paul, what'd they do? You look almost pretty." "She is pretty," Mother said. Max simply made me turn round and round, looking at me critically from every angle, nodding with satisfaction. I could hardly believe it myself when the stylist was through with me. My straight hair actually lay in soft curves, capping my head. Ursula's hair looked nice, too. "Max found Dominic for me," she said. "If Max didn't see to it that I go to a good stylist, she knows I wouldn't bother. After all, a surgeon's hair is frequently concealed under a green surgical cap." When we left the hairdresser, Ursula went to the hospital, and I went to the art gallery, where there was an interesting exhibition of women painters. Rosa Bonhauer, Berthe Moristot, Georgia O'Keeffe. O'Keeffe, 2 F's. I liked the way it looked. My parents had not objected when I put the extra L in Polly, but I doubted if they'd let me get away with putting an extra F in O'Keeffe. I'd gone back to the cottage to change, and was delayed by Mrs. Ormsby, so I was a few minutes late, and Ursula was waiting for me. She was evidently known by the people who ran the restaurant, and the waiter was smiling and respectful. "We have moulets marineres. We have the moulets marineres that you like, Dr. Herschel." "Splendid, Francois. I think you'll like the way they prepare them here, Polly." "Fine." She did not order wine. We had Vichy water. "This place is small enough to be personal, and I've got in the habit of eating here when I'm in Charleston. Did you have a good afternoon? Terrific. It's ages since I've been in an art gallery. Sometime I'm going to take a real sabbatical, but it's been good for me to keep my hand in during all these months. Norris Ormsby called me in today on an interesting and tragic case, a young woman in her 30s who has had a series of brain tumors. Benign in her case is a mockery. After her first surgery, some nerves were cut, and her face was irrevocably distorted. Her mouth twisted, one eye partly closed. A few days ago, another tumor was removed, and several more smaller ones were discovered. I agreed with the decision not to do further surgery. She said that she is looking with her mind's eye at the tumors, willing them to shrink, seeing them shrink. And she quoted Benjamin Franklin to me. Those things that hurt instruct. An extraordinary woman, a holy woman. She looks at her devastated face in the mirror, and she says she still does not recognize herself, but there is no bitterness in her. She sails, and as soon as she gets out of the hospital, she plans to sail solo to Bermuda at sea. What she looks like is a matter of complete indifference. My patients teach me, Polly. Old Ben knew what he was talking about, and it's completely counter to general thinking today, where we're taught to avoid pain and seek pleasure. Pain needs to be moved through, not avoided. Ursula was referring to her own pain, I thought, and Max's, and mine. Why is hurting part of growing up? I demanded. It's part of being human. I've been watching you move through it with amazingly mature compassion. You've been the best medicine Max could have. Well, child, it's a good thing the play is a comedy. This is more than enough heaviness. We spent 2 hours in the theater, laughing our heads off. Then back to the guest cottage. Ursula went into the main house to have a drink with the Ormsbys, and I got ready for bed and read until she came back. She took a quick shower and then got into the other twin bed, blowing me a kiss. Sleep well, child. I've enjoyed our time together. Me too. It's been wonderful. We'll have a bite of breakfast at 7 and then drive back to the island before the heat of the day. Sleep well. You too. Thank you. Thanks, Urs. Urs wasn't Max, but she was still pretty special. And we'll pause there.